Why you dey buy fake product, yeah? Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.
You should know where to go. Na SON. Don't touch, don't touch.
It's fake.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's bad.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It hurts.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It destroys.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It kills.
You should know where to go. Na SON.
Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
We are leaving nothing to chance to protect you from substandard or fake products as part of measures by the agency to ensure that consumers get value for their money. 3 container load of substandard electric cables have been destroyed as the Standards Organization of Nigeria develops more protocols for the benefit of the people. Good evening and welcome to Standard and You, Africa's authoritative public enlightenment program. It's Nigeria's finest brand on product quality and safety on television, powered by Nigeria's foremost responsive government agency, brought to you on Mondays at this time on this station. Accept the assurances of the warm regards of the Director General, management and hardworking staff of the SON. My name is Ifoma Okonkwo and thank you for watching. Please stay tuned to the program. I will be back shortly.
Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigerian SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards aimed at improving the exports of the nation's food and cash crops. This explains why we have developed more standards for Nigeria's produce like sesame, cocoa, garri, and more, courtesy our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turnaround time for SunCap and ManCap to reduce substandard products and legal arm to prosecute offenders. Join the Standards Organization of Nigeria in ridding our nation of substandard goods due to consistent market surveillance and raids. See something, say something. The Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
You're watching Standard and You, and thanks for being there. Every time you deploy new ways of importing into the country fake and substandard products, be rest assured that we are ahead of you and will find you no matter your location in the country. Impound and destroy your products. Director, Inspectorate and Compliance, Engineer Obiora Manafa, gave this assurance when the agency destroyed substandard cables in Lagos. I am standing on a heap of substandard electric cables. These cables are all imported from other parts of the world. Imagine what would happen if these electric cables find their ways into the Nigerian markets. Your guess is as good as mine.
These cables have been tested and found to be substandard, having failed all parameter and performance tests conducted by the Standards Organization of Nigeria, as explained by the agency's head of Inspectorate and Compliance, Engineer Obiora Manafa.
These are products that, if allowed to get into the market, anybody can buy it. It can destroy properties. It can kill people because of the level of failure of these products in the laboratory. The products failed woefully. They failed the key parameters. There are some performance parameters like the conductor resistance, which is one of the major key parameters. The cable failed. The standard stipulates, depending on the size of the cable, the maximum conductor resistance for each cable. Sometimes they will give you, the standard will say 12.5 ohms, 8 ohms, 10 ohms maximum, But when we test some of these cables, if you test some of these bad cables, you get values up to 1,000 ohms. You get values up to 1,500 ohms. At times you get values 600 and something ohms. As against 10 ohms maximum. So So you can see the level of infraction, level of non-compliance. These are cables that can burn down any facility you use this cable on. What they do is, because of the high conductor resistance, it does not allow free flow of current.
A closer look at the bad electric cables reveals that the importer cloned selling popular brands produced in the country and flood our markets with such products and sell at a ridiculously cheap price. This is so because it's a known fact that made in Nigeria electric cables are the best and of acceptable quality.
We are looking at two scenarios. One, protecting the importers, so that they will not lose money. Protecting Nigerian users so that they will not be killed, the safety aspect of consumers. So we are trying to strike a balance. Striking that balance means we want Nigerians that do this importation to make money from their businesses. We are not happy we are destroying these ones. But our hands are tied. We don't have any option than to destroy. Because when you weigh two options, which one is more important? Is it to protect somebody that went outside the country and brought something that will kill Nigerians, protect his interests, or protect the people that will be exposed to this danger of this product? So you can see the protecting lives is more important in this aspect. But we are trying as much as possible also, to prevent this thing happening by engaging them in, advocacy programs, sensitizing the importers to do the right thing. We always go to the markets. We call the stakeholders every time, teach them the importance of complying with standards, so that these things will not be happening every time. We are not happy burning all these things every time, destroying them, because it's money.
No doubt, the SON, working with relevant stakeholders, have put in a lot to clean up the electric cable market by providing operators in that sector with basic technical support to help them grow. As long as the agency does not take pleasure in destroying products found to be substandard, Manafa stated clearly that officials of the agency will never hesitate to destroy such products. SON says it's not safe to use substandard products, especially life endangering ones like electric cable.
We are here to synergize with our sister agency, SON, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, in the process of destroying counterfeited cable wires that were imported into the country by unscrupulous businessmen. This will require us stepping up our surveillance, then policing our ports, so that at least we ensure that these things does not continue to happen in our society. They are dangerous to human beings, they are dangerous to consumption. These are things that can really consume life.
SON is destroying this thing in an environmentally safe manner. Now, these things actually contain hazardous substances that are harmful to human health. And thank God they were not burned, because if they were actually burned, they will be emitting substances that are dangerous to the health of Nigerians. And that's why we were called to collaborate with them in this destruction.
This seizure is coming barely 2 weeks when the SON impounded and destroyed over 5,000 substandard LPG cylinders in Lagos.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. How many of you watching or listening to the program are sure of the quality of the power cable used to provide light where you live or work? I am sure some of us, especially property owners, are beginning to do some mind searching. Most of us are guilty of not ascertaining the quality, proper specification, and proper installation of the power cables. Here is what you should know about the cable, what the Standards Organization of Nigeria is doing to check the distribution of substandard cables and the impact of the prevalence of substandard cables on the economy. Please take a listen. Power cables are means through which we get electricity delivered to our homes, hospitals, schools, offices, industries, and all establishments where power is needed. Cables are essentially copper or aluminum conductors. These power cables are insulated to avoid endangering the lives of consumers because of the current or electricity the cables carry. Cable has a limit to the amount of current it can carry.
Each of the cables too have what we call cross-section. Okay? Every cross-section is predetermined has a limit to the amount of current it should carry. For example, when you say 2.5 mm squared, okay, 4 mm squared, 6 mm squared, and so on and so forth, each of these cables have limited amount of current they can carry to avoid endangering the lives of properties and human beings. But unfortunately, many of the users do not know about these limitations. And some of the so-called, let me say, people who use these cables, they don't know the limit of each of them and as to what limit you can use them. So when you use them in the wrong way, you endanger the life of the persons in that vicinity as well as the properties.
These electrical cables differ in configuration, size, and performance.
For most projects, I mean, the one that I know, there are specifications. There are consultants, there are engineers who might have specified the type, size, and everything required for a particular project. Therefore, if you are involved in such project and you don't meet the specification or the cable to be used, definitely nobody will pass it. But you know that how many of the construction or installation that involve professional in Nigeria? Not all. I think that is where you have the problem. When it is involved with professional, there are specifications you need to meet. We look at the low demand of a particular project that will determine the size and the type of cable to be used. We look at how are we making the transmission. It is underground, it is overhead. All this will determine the kind of specification to be made for a particular project. But how many projects involve professional? We know that I don't want to keep on making figures that cannot be substantiated, but we know that if you look at the kind of building all over the country that are going on, you know that most of it, the one going on in my village, for example, how many engineers are involved? People just go to the open market and say, how much is your cable? Per 100. Mine is 2,000. How much is your own? Mine is 500 naira. This one is cheaper. Then you go for the cheapest one. They don't have specification for it, and that is why we have problem.
The installation of this all-important product should be done only by an expert and not just anybody. Sadly, experts in the industry say most owners of properties and developers simply opt for the services of quacks who have little or no knowledge on the types of quality of power cables.
And people keep on wondering, markets burning down, what could have been the cause? If you find out a great majority, from experience when I was in the Mines and Power, when we were inspecting, the causes of accident and fire incident, we discovered that essentially they are electricity related. And it's either the cables have been overused, which means they have passed the limit of the current they're supposed to carry. So when they carry the current they're supposed to carry, the insulation will break down. When the insulation breaks down, you have problems of fire incidents. That's one cause of fire incidents. Another cause is even the switchgear that you use along to. If you do not have them functioning the way they are supposed to function, or have the right protective device to protect these cables, again, you have problem of danger. Because for every cross-section of cable, there are defined rating of circuit breakers or fusing elements to make sure that power is cut before the cables are damaged.
The influx of substandard power cables into the country has remained a source of worry to consumers, local manufacturers, stakeholders in the industry, and the Standards Organization of Nigeria. These fake and substandard products are of various brands and sizes and are considered cheap.
There's what we call pre-commissioning tests. Even when you are, let's say pre-buying or when buying, there are some tests, we call it pressure testing. You have to pressure test the cable to make sure that that cable can withstand the current and the insulation level they are designed and produced for. If they fail at that stage, then you don't use that kind of cable. But a lot of people don't even bother to test. That's stage 1 testing. When you get to the site, when you have also installed these cables and the electrical equipment, you have to do what is also called pre-commissioning test. That's second stage. Pre-commissioning test now means when you have put all the electrical cables together, the distribution boards, the protective devices, the switch gears, as a system, you still need to test them together. You need to inject certain currents into them before people start using them to make sure and ensure that the cables can withstand the amount of current you have injected into them. Even you have to simulate tripping. That is, look, if this cable carries current up to this level, it must cut off instead of endangering the lives of properties and human beings.
The SON has made significant investment in both human and infrastructural development over the years to check the distribution of substandard power cables in Nigeria, which has led to large seizures.
The battle to rid Nigeria of substandard cables is an ongoing battle, which we are fighting with the Cable Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. They saw their brands being threatened, they came to us, and we'll be able to arrest the situation. And we'll keep on doing that. We must discourage anybody that wants to take advantage of our attempt to create an enabling environment for ease of doing business, from bringing in unwholesome products to Nigeria. Our cables, I'll make boldly to say, are the best in Africa. We export them. They are safe to use. Anyone that does not comply with our MANCAP certification is therefore not certified by us.
Most of the seized substandard power cables are not foreign brands. They are selling popular local manufactured cables that are being cloned outside Nigeria and brought back to be sold in the country.
Look at this cable metal here.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
It's cable metal. It is cable metal. NISF did it.
NIS. Can you imagine? Another offense.
Certified by
Double offense. Bring your light. Boy, bring your light.
This ugly development, no doubt, has continued to take its toll on operators in the country, with capacity utilization at a little above 40%.
Currently, we're about 40%, 40-45%, because of our low patronage and then the fake products that are still finding its way into the market.
It's common knowledge today that power cables made in Nigeria are of good quality and the best when compared with those imported into Nigeria.
And today, in terms of tonnage, it's over 4 million tons. So, and our capacity is over 4 million tons. The standard is set in a way that we have taken fluctuation of electricity supply in the country into account. And that's why that standard differs from the standard of other places. And that's why the effectiveness of reliability of local limit cables are much, much better, because then it can stand fluctuations because it's already taken into account.
To anybody that wants to copy any successful brand in Nigeria, not only will we prosecute and allow the law to take its course, we'll find them. We must discourage them. So the general public will please work with SON.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria wants you to do the following before you purchase the power cable. 1. Ensure that the power cable you are buying is registered with the Standards Organization of Nigeria. 2. Ensure that the installation of the cable is done by only a professional. 3. Report anyone you suspect deals on substandard cables to the Standards Organization of Nigeria. The need for the timely review of standards to keep abreast of current global trends have been emphasized by stakeholders at a technical committee meeting on liquefied petroleum gas. The virtual meeting was convened to review LPG standard NIS 555/2014, which was reviewed in 2013 and approved by the Standard Council in 2014. Represented by the Director of Standard Development, the SON boss said standards are key to ensuring quality and safety of products and services. He explained that the resolutions reached at the technical committee meeting will effectively determine the maximum acceptable vapor pressure allowed for domestic LPG cylinders in the country. The meeting was attended by officials of the Standards Organization of Nigeria and a large number of stakeholders in the oil and gas industry. You're still watching Standard and You. Feedback is next, and Alimoto Sifo is standing by to treat your messages. Over to you, Alimoto.
Thank you, Ifoma. Welcome to the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. Buying and selling is an integral part of our everyday living. We cannot overlook the fact that our insatiable needs make us demand for various goods and services. Before making a purchase, there are lots of factors to consider, no doubt. But you must know that buying a product isn't just about the price, it's about getting value for money. It's not just about the quantity, it's about how well the product serves you. It's not just about making a purchase, it's about knowing what to look out for in order to buy right. In the same vein, selling a product isn't just about making profit, it's about satisfying consumer needs. It's not just about having buyers, it's about gaining consumer confidence and loyalty. It's not just about selling, it's about complying with standards to sell authentic. Whether you are a consumer, manufacturer, or an importer, you have responsibilities beyond buying, producing, or selling products. Join the Quality Vanguard by insisting on quality and reporting cases of fake and substandard products to the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Now over to some of the messages we received last week. Sule from Makurdi says, I bought a TV set and used less than 2 months and the screen went blank after using the TV together with a TV guide recommended by the dealer. Please, what can I do? That's unfair because there's a warranty for that particular product. Please go to SON Borno State Office with your proof of purchase at number 38 Baga Road, Medigori. We'll take it up from there. Ernest from Port Harcourt says, most hydraulic fluids on sale now in Port Harcourt are fake. Please do something. Thank you so much for that information. It would be nice if you give us adequate information about these particular brands and we would investigate. Nuju Jacob from Yobe State says, SON, you are doing a good job. May God help you in your task. Thank you so much. Nice to hear from you. Ogugwa from Anambra says, I want to thank you for the good work you are doing to curb substandard products in Nigerian markets. Please, I would want your commission to visit building materials and check the sizes of wood and plants. Thank you and God bless you. God bless you too. Thank you for reaching out to us. We'll take note of that. F. Young from Abuja says, I bought motor battery and didn't use it up to 3 months before it failed. Since then, the seller is yet to replace it for me. That's unacceptable. You have a right to repair, replacement, or refund of money paid whenever you're dissatisfied with the product. So please go to SON FCT office at number 14 Kitwe Street, beside Waterboard, Zone 4, Wuse, Abuja, with your proof of purchase and will help you get value for your money. Janet from Cross River says, I like the way you are encouraging Nigerians to develop their own brands and discourage them from imitating. Thank you so much for that message. Yes, because there's no gain in faking or imitation of popular brands. That's why we encourage everyone to have their own brands and get it right with the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Baku York Tanjay from Kaduna says, how do I get standards from SON? Please go to SON Kaduna State Office at 44 Kachia Road, Kaduna. They'll guide you on how to go about it. Stella from Port Harcourt says, I'm into custard production. Can I also register with the Standards Organization of Nigeria? Sure, you can under the Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, which ensures that locally manufactured products comply with Nigerian industrial standards. So go to SON River State Office at Air Freight House, Kilometer 1, Port Harcourt on a road by LMA Junction, Port Harcourt. And that concludes this week's episode of the program Standard and You. Do you have a question, complaint, or suggestion? You can send in your messages with your full name and location to the number 0705972445. Tag along with us on Facebook at Standard and You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard and You _. We have previous episodes online at youtube.com/Standard and You. As always, buy original, sell authentic, and use only the best. Stay safe.
Why you dey buy fake product, Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.